Okay, man. So, fresh.
Happy MAGA morning. Happy MAGA morning.
Let me read.
Happy MAGA.
So it might be a surprise for some who are not following on social media, but Choke, you are a MAGA Trump supporter. To me, that is wild ever since I found that out. But at the same time, it's not wild because Choke, is full of surprises. But at what point have you always been like a MAGA supporter or a Republican or, someone that was voting on that side?
Trump was a Democrat. He used to support the Democrats. He funded Jesse Jackson. He funded the Rainbow Coalition.
Okay.
He supported people like Mike Tyson over the careers. I mean, over the years. Diddy, Snoop. Like he's been around us for years. So when people try to sell me on he's a racist, I don't think a racist hangs with black people. I don't think a racist invests in black people. I don't think a racist date black. He even had a black girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you can't sell me on Donald Trump is a racist because I know that's not true. He got love for the black community. You know what I'm saying? If his father was in the KKK and all that other stuff, that ain't they. A racist don't deal with black people, period. You know what I'm saying? So these people act, the black people that's racist towards him, speak black people say, oh, black people can't be racist. We prejudiced. No, you racist. He's a white devil and all this other orange and all this other mess that if you flip that, they'd be the equivalent to derogatory to black people. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was you're not going to sell me on one. He was a racist. He didn't become a racist until he ran for president. He wasn't a racist when he was dealing with Omarosa. He wasn't a racist when he had the Celebrity Apprentice when Holly Robinson Pete raised all that money for her charity or Arsenio Hall. And he brought Arsenio Hall back to get the Arsenio Hall show back. He wasn't a racist when Little John raised all that money for his charity. He wasn't a racist when Nene Leakes was on his show and raised all that money. Bo Jackson and all these other black celebrities, Dionne Warwick, Star, whatever other name is, Star Jones, whatever it is. All these black people supported Trump and was on his show and been around Trump. Oprah Winfrey, she also hung with Donald Trump. So when did he become a racist? Only for the state, for the sake of politician.
Let's say this, right? Let's just take the racism conversation off the table for a second. And let's just look at what your options were of who to support. Okay.
Okay.
White man.
Huh?
He's a white man, white businessman.
Why are you bringing up race? You just said take race out of it.
I said take racism.
Okay, so why would the first thing you say is white man? We taking the racism out of it
because what you put on your
you say candidate. We have this candidate or this Republican. We taking race out of it, right?
No, I said racism. Who's racist or not? We're not gonna know. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, so you say we got a Republican.
I'm gonna lay out what you have because you represent a small percentage of black men who decided to go against the traditional route of the Democrat Party. I think from a poll that I read, it was like 78% of black men voted for Kamala. That leaves us with 22% who did not vote for her or go for her. So you will be a part of that 22%, which is why I think this is an interesting conversation. My layup was more so of you had Trump as a white man, you have Kamala, I'll say as a woman of color, because there's this debate going on if she's black or whatever, Indian. She's a woman of color. Why did you, as a black man, not side with somebody who may have similar experiences as your upbringing?
That's bullshit because she don't have the same similar experience as my way. I'm brought up in an African American household. She wasn't brought up in an African American
I
household.
would say more so than Trump, though, right? Or is this a New York thing?
Wait, What do you mean it's a New York thing?
Because I've heard this before too. I think
Hold on. You said I went with the person, right? Instead of going with the person that had a similar upbringing. Neither one of them had a similar upbringing as me.
okay. The assumption would be that you could relate to Kamala more because
One.
she
No, I can't. I'm not Indian. I didn't grow up making curry. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up with a Hindu girlfriend. I never, ever, ever, ever dated a Hindu Indian girlfriend or an Indian or a Indian Asian of descent girlfriend. And I tried many a times. They don't fuck with niggas.
and this isn't related to that. Your decision not to rock with her because of those past dealings with Indian women.
No, I'm just telling you that she don't have the similar upbringing as an African American.
Okay, so why didn't you go with Kamala though? Just to kind of be straight to the point.
Because for the 4 years that she was in the office, she didn't do nothing. She didn't walk, she didn't parade around this country and make her presence felt. We did not see her until the 4th year of her being the vice president. That's one reason. Two, we went through a whole pandemic. It was rough out here. She did not come out here and do nothing. Three, she was the border czar. She ran the borders. I had to move because my goddamn neighborhood got infested with immigrants, right? Illegal immigrants who they didn't vet. I don't know who's living next to me. They out here doing all kind of illegal stuff. They shopping at the goddamn garbage, taking box springs and mattresses into their apartment. The government has funded these people with damn near like $10,000 in government assistance a month that they could have gave to the homeless, that they could have gave to the veterans. You know what I mean? Veterans I see a day, I'm driving down and they stand on the sign, a homeless veteran or veteran needs help. And you open the borders and let all these people come in here and gave them money and put them up in prestigious hotels like the Roosevelt while our veterans and homeless people are out here struggling. Then y'all raise the fucking prices because of the pandemic. Everything's back to normal, and they never wanted to bring the prices back down. They didn't do nothing for me. She did not have no presence. When Michelle Obama was in the first lady, she was the first lady. She wasn't even a politician. And she had a stronger presence than Kamala Harris did as vice president. More people saw Michelle Obama going around on talk shows, going around doing all kind of events and everything. She would have been a better candidate, and she don't know nothing about politics.
Right. And Cho, I want to make sure because what's happening in these conversations, there's assumptions. I'm sure you get a lot of assumptions because you are going with Trump or you have supported him. One thing is that they think that, these people think that women are unfit to be leaders.
That's propaganda to get her to what you call it, for people to vote for. Or say, oh, now that she went, oh, people ain't ready for a woman to lead. Bullshit. It's women out here leading in all types of corporations. It's CEO women of all types of businesses. I worked at BET for years. Deborah Lee was the the president. She ran the company. So don't tell me about that. That's bullshit. That's propaganda. So them to get, she wasn't fit for it. She didn't go to the primaries and people voted her in for her to run for goddamn president. She inherited that through Joe Biden, stepping down when he got spanked in the debate. When he got spanked in the debate, they like, yo, Joe, step down, Joe. Let the girl go. Let the girl go. She can get the black people. This ain't about race for me. This ain't Trump ain't a racist. So that's why you kicking that propaganda to me. I know he's not a racist. I've been in the entertainment business for fucking 30, 40 years now. Growing up watching it, a New Yorker for 50 something years, right? So I know Trump ain't no racist, even though they tell me, oh, he didn't let black people live in his apartments. Bullshit. My man Jay from Fubu lived in the Trump Palace. Angela Simmons lived in the Trump Palace. I've been to both of their places. Can't tell me he didn't let people live in there. That's propaganda.
Understood. I definitely this time I want to just take racism and race away.
Okay, if you take all that out, for me, the
Yes.
4 years that Trump was in office, don't this ain't my first time experience Trump being the president.
Right.
This ain't your first time experience him being the president. The 4 years that he was in the office was better for me than the 4 years when Biden and them was in the office.
So the argument there is they're going to say that that was due to what Obama did before.
That's bullshit. That's propaganda too. All Obama did came in and was made laws for the gays. That's where his focus was. He didn't make it easier for us when we got in. That he never stopped a bullet in Chicago. And he's from Chicago. He was in office 8 years. And people were still dying in massive numbers in Chicago. He ain't do shit but make shit good for gays.
Now, my question, and definitely, I always appreciate your candidness. If we put the racism and race to the side, was there a particular policy? Was it the border? How Trump is talking about the borders? What was it policy wise that made you feel like Trump is the better guy to go with?
The border. When Trump wanted to build the wall, motherfuckers was tripping. Like, I'm not mad at you if you go get ADT on your house or some type of alarm system as your neighbor, because you want to keep people out your house, right? So why would people be upset with Trump wanting to build a ADT system for America, right? He's trying to build the wall. They come in and say, no, F the wall. Let them in. Let everybody. It is America. Let them in. They ain't vetting nobody. You got countries letting prisoners out of jail, like go to America. Right? So now we got all these people in our country, right? Whenever I go to all types of stores, the illegal immigrants is working in the stores, which they don't got to pay them minimum wage. They pay them half of that, which make less jobs for the regular people. We try to get them to up minimum wage so people would feel comfortable working a minimum wage job. They ain't like paying these people half the price because they ain't got no paperwork and they doing it and they working 10 times as hard. 5 people in the 1 bedroom, 10 people in the 2 bedroom. But our people are struggling. Our people are homeless. They don't want to give us free health care like Canada. You know what I'm saying? All they did was make it harder for us. You know what I'm saying? Then Biden come in and he put all this transgender law into place. Now we got men beating up on women in boxing, right? Because they identify as women. We got men playing sports with women now because they put that in place, right? Men wrestling, women wrestling, breaking their ribs, blowing their scholarships, right? We got men who identify as women good being able to walk in Korean spas where everybody's naked and go on the women's side with their thing swinging, with little girls on their side with their parents got to see this man with his thing swinging, confused, talking about he's a woman. All that is because of the Democrats, right? So it ain't hard for me to make a decision to fight for women to have rights. The women may be mad at me, and I understand why I was going for Trump. I'm fighting for y'all, so these men don't get in the ring and bust your face. I'm fighting for y'all, so men ain't getting on the court with the women and elbowing them and boxing them out with their strong ass body. I'm fighting for the women that want to go to the bathroom, don't have to worry about a man coming in the bathroom.
So, Cho, I have to lay up. There's 2 things I want to at least bring to your attention, because I'm sure you have to think about these things too. Because right now you're putting, I'm not going to front, like things that I do think make sense, right? How do we make it fair where women aren't going against men in sports because someone identifies that way, but they may be physically stronger and able to do that? I do understand that point of view. There's other things that we are also missing though. One thing is with Trump saying that he would want to give police immunity. how do you deal with that conversation? With you being someone that was, that has been in our system before in the past, how do you respond to that? I'm sure you've had bad encounters with police. If someone were to do something to you, how do I protect you if the president is saying the person that just hurt you because their officer can get away with it?
Well, if you heard him say in detail, it is for a case by case situation. It ain't for every situation. It's not like police is going to be out here slaughtering people and not get prosecuted for it. They will still get prosecuted for it. But in certain cases, it's a case by case situation. Am I happy about that? No.
Yeah. So
Is
how
it only going? Is it only going to affect black people? No.
but we're kind of, and I don't have numbers in front of me, but we seem to be the poster child of police brutality in this country. So the chances are high that it's gonna happen between you and I compared to our white or Asian counterparts.
Maybe the Asians, but the whites, they gonna be getting their asses whipped just like everybody else's. Cause there's more of them than us.
So here's another thing, right? This is my other point. Because I'm sure you had to think about everything. Because not every party is perfect. There are some things that you have to kind of like sidestep and be like, you know what? There's a bigger issue at hand than this. One thing that may have created me to be hesitant on why I even would even consider to jump on the Trump campaign. It's not mainly him. It's mainly like the supporters and the type of supporters that he like empowers and makes feel empowered. And it's not definitely you as a black man. I'm talking about like people that are racist, that are liking the things that keep people outside of our country because they don't want their white nationalism to be, I guess, interfered with or threatened. Those are the reasons why I couldn't get on that campaign. How do you process that, Cho? I'll ask you, how do you deal with a fellow Trump supporter who is white, who wouldn't allow you to come into their home? Because there's going to be a quite few of these Trump supporters that would be that way. How do you deal with that?
I'm not looking to be invited to anybody home that I'm not welcome. But I got a lot of white friends, right? I got white friends that's fucking mad at me right now that I was supporting Trump. That's not even talking to me. I'll show you a text right now from a very white person,
Yeah,
right?
you can read it on here.
And this is a person that I love and respect, but they so mad at me. Like we haven't talked because of the election, right? We haven't spoken. Um, and now that the election's over, I text them today, and
I hope we didn't text him Happy MAGA morning.
no, I text everybody else that, but I text them. I hope that you still love me,
Wow.
even though Trump won. I hope that you still love me because it ain't that serious, right? And I expect no negative response, but I got a response. Look at the first words they say there.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
I don't respect anyone who voted for Trump. So it seems like they're not fooling with you. The rest gets a little weird because the camera, the light.
Yeah, it says I don't respect anyone, not a soul in parentheses, who voted for Trump. I decided that before the election. I decided before the election that I will not spend time with those people. Our values do not align. This includes two of my mother's cousins. Frankly, other than one person, all of my friends share belief in honesty, peace, and exclusiveness. I very much wish you the best in life. Everyone is entitled to their choices.
How did that feel, seeing your friend write you off like that over your belief?
And so that hopefully people in your family won't be denied health care that they may need. Right. That is disappointing. You know why? Because when I met this person, Trump was in office. Trump was the president. Now he running again, and you disown me as a friend and all your friends because they supported this person who, for me, like I said, I don't know how your life was the 4 months, I mean, the 4 years when Trump was in office before and opposed to this 4 years. It was better for me, right? And I've been around Trump for 30 years in the entertainment business. I seen Snoop hang with him. I seen Ja Rule hang with him. I see Diddy hang with him. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Nigga, if Martin Luther King was alive, he would have been fucking with Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think again, I don't know if it's so, at least from my point of view, I don't know if it's so much that it's like just Trump himself, because Trump does say a lot of wild things. He does some unpredictable stuff. But
he's not a politician. This is why
I
Kamala
think
could get up there to you and lie with a straight face and say and dodge questions because she's media trained as a politician way since the Senate. Trump is not a politician, bro. He's a businessman. So he
I
don't
think
know
that
how to bullshit you.
I agree. I think that works for him. Again, I think that works for him. I understand why people like his presentation, like what he's about, because of his handedness. My only concern again is, what is he weaponizing, or what is he encouraging? Just what he represents. It appears that some have latched onto him. Bigots, racists have latched onto him and love some of his policies, love some of his ideals, because it aligns with their own personal motives. That, my friend, may interfere with our growth of our children, our grandchildren, those things.
Why didn't that happen the last time when he was in office? This is the same rhetoric bullshit people was talking when he was running again and won.
But I'm saying,
The same deal points, the same points you talking about now. We went in and all them niggas started getting them stimulus checks and ain't saying shit, right? Niggas was going to buy cars and houses and all that bullshit. They wasn't mad then, the niggas, right? They wasn't thinking about no racism then. Them niggas went and took advantage and niggas, some of them went to jail because they got so goddamn greedy.
now, Cho, to kind of close this out, I would definitely take the standpoint that may align with, I do think the Democratic Party has a lot of work to do.
Hold on, let me ask you, why was you voting for Kamala? What was the policies and stuff that she had in place that made you want to vote? Since you asked me that about Trump,
So I definitely think I could have done a better job in looking at all the Kamala's policies. I can agree with that. I think I kind of stopped at a certain point because what I saw what Trump represented, and I didn't investigate any further. To me, that was enough what he represented, the types of people they represented, which is why if you ask me who I supported, it was for Kamala because of what I saw what was going on in the Trump wave. That's it. Now, I do admit I could do a better job in looking at all of her policies. There were some talking points. She seemed like the most, if I can express, she seemed like the most sensible, whether she's doing a good job because she's a politician, she could say the right things. It felt more comfortable for me to go that direction than with Trump, because I feel like sometimes with him, you don't know what you're going to get in the experience. So that's why I made that decision. I don't know all her policies. I could have done a better job, but that's why I went with her. It wasn't just only color, partially to blame, but there were multiple things that I went with her. But I do admit I could have done a better job in investigating what she stands for. Any closing remarks, Cho? I just wanted to get you on here because I think it's fair. I want our platform, even we will probably get some backlash for even having this kind of rhetoric on the platform because, that's just the game. But I think it's fair that we give everyone a voice. And I wanted to give you a voice because you are someone that has frequented our platform. What are your closing thoughts?
y'all have a mega merry day. And that's it, man. Look, you say I'm the minority in that, I stay the minority. You know what I'm saying? I'm the 5% of the world. Why you got the 85% is out here and there's the other 5%, right? So I'm not the dumb, deaf, and blind of the 85% of the population. I'm the 5% of the population. This is why I'm the minority and making the right decision. If I was wrong, Kamala Harris would have woke up and been president today. I wasn't wrong, and a lot of us wasn't wrong. You know, trust me, black men ain't the only ones that voted for Trump. It was black women that voted for Trump. It was Latinos that voted for
It was
Trump.
a small amount. I saw the numbers, but it was a small amount of black women that voted for Trump.
It don't matter. They was smart enough to know that that was bullshit over there, right? It don't make them. It don't make those black people sellouts. It don't make them black women sellouts. It just showed them that they got their own mind and they don't follow the masses. They don't follow the Pied Pipers like the Beyoncés, the Cardi B's, the Glorillas, the Alicia Keys, the LeBron James. They don't follow all those DL Hugleys and all those people that sold their soul to the game uh, to tell us who we should vote for. We're not sellouts. You know what I'm saying? Just because dudes like Steve Harvey, who we seen go and be in the White House when Trump won the first time, let people manipulate him to turn against him. We are the 5% of the world. We are the intelligent ones. We are the shines. We are the ones, right? The other ones, the 85%, the dumb, deaf, and blind, don't know why they doing it. They just following the goddamn sheep. And that's all I got to say. And now, all y'all out there, just have a merry MAGA day. All right.